Weeks ago, this piece of art went viral. As Africa Equity Media, we went out in search of the brains behind this breathtaking piece of art.
So my name is Eddy Ochieng. I'm a 29-year-old, a visual artist, and more specifically a hyperrealism artist. So hyperrealism is this form of art where the artwork is brought as close to reality as possible. It could be done in pencil, it could be done in paint, it could be done even in sculpture, but for my case it's painting. And this is what I do for a living. And yeah, that's Eddy in a nutshell. First time I figured I could paint, I'll take it back to 2012. This is a period after I finished my high school, just a year before, and the small window before you join campus where you try to find something to do to pass time. So I started experimenting and painting. However, art in itself was, in general, I started a little earlier. Probably I was in class 4. I used to scribble a lot of random things, draw random things at the back of my book, and I found that I loved it. And there are times I would even get into trouble because the science teacher is there explaining the parts of an insect, head, thorax, and I'm there just drawing my other random things. Then they'll say, "What are you doing?" And I'm teaching, you're going to be punished now for it. Anyway, despite that, I think it developed a love for art that I continued doing, and which rolled on to high school because of art as a subject. And I took that and I enjoyed it and I loved it and I excelled in it. So when we were finishing high school, I thought to myself, I really want to do this all the way, to university. And then, of course, now the parents come in, and the typical African home where, they're looking for household title, a lawyer, doctor, or, some of the titles you can put in your door there, but here I am coming with this, this career that not many know about. There's not many people they could reference that, oh, I know so-and-so who's done art. So it was a bit hard to present that, and there was a bit of back and forth, but eventually I could just say it's God's plan. I ended up, just studying art, and I enjoyed it. Had a really good time on campus. I draw my inspiration from people. I like talking to people. I like meeting new people, hearing their stories. Who are they? Where do they come from? What are their views of life? Do they have a story? What is it? There's so much we can learn from people, and that's why you see most of my works, are faces of people or just compositions of people. Because I like depicting real life and real stories, or even just a nice face, because I'm trying to depict reality, and I can just put that there. Yeah. So the longest time I've taken on a piece of work is about 2 months. There's a painting I did earlier this year. I think I started it in May, and I finished it at the end of June. So it's pretty much 2 months here. The most memorable piece I can think of is there's a series I did. I like to do my artworks in series. So I'll pick a subject, and then under that subject I do a number of paintings under that subject. So they'll be similar in some way, but they talk about the same thing. So there's a series I did called Crystal Clear, where there's portraits with water on them. And the first one I did, it was a very scary, piece, because I didn't think I could do it, and I was very skeptical about how I was going to look, the criticism after, seeing how there's a lot of realism out there and people are doing this to a very high level, and here I am, this is my first one. So I was never sure how that would turn out, but after I did it, and the response I got, I was like, wait a minute, it's actually possible. And from there, my confidence went to another level, so I just explored the whole thing, till this day. So that's an important piece for me. And the face of the person I drew is a very good friend of mine. He's called Oliver. So that's also a very, very dear piece to me. Yeah. Art does pay, and there are factors to it. You don't just draw something nice and then you have money. It's a process, and I like to think of it like it's a business like any other. The same principle that will apply in that office job, in that business out there in town, is the same principles you will bring in your career, in your art. So hard work, persistence, working on yourself, being an advocate for your work, knowing what's happening in the art scene and how you can fit in all these aspects when they come together over time, then you start to realize the gains of the career. So yes, it does pay. This is the only thing I'm doing. This is my this is my 8 to 5. It does pay. The artworks would range from 50,000 to even 500,000. Yeah, and then the good thing about art and the new age of technology, social media and whatnot, is that you have access to the rest of the world actually. So it's very easy to find collectors and clients who are even in different parts of the world. I like how the Kenyan art scene has grown over time. Personally, I've been a beneficiary of the growing Kenyan art scene. So a year ago I won an award. It's called Manjano by the Go Down Art Center. I didn't think I could be one of those people who win prizes for my work, but that's a very good indication that we've come a long way, and there are actually institutions that put out events like this to recognize art, to encourage young people to pursue this career, because there are opportunities for everyone who tries. And I was a good I can attest to that. So after that award, I got an opportunity to exhibit with a local gallery here, which was also a big step for me. It was almost like the first major exhibition I'm having locally, and from there I got audience to even people who are outside the country, and little by little it grew. So if you trace that back, it's actually here. It started here, and I'm grateful for the people who are putting out this opportunities out there. The farthest my work has gone, well, geographically. My work is in Australia, it's in London, it's in the US, it's in Germany, South Africa. And I traveled to South Africa sometime in 2018 for an art fair, which was really fun. And also an encouraging factor to upcoming artists that art is so wide, it's beyond boundaries. So it's very easy you find yourself in Uganda, next time you're in Rwanda, and you're South Africa, because it's accessible to everyone in the world, and anyone who needs it or needs you can very easily get access to you. Yeah, that it's possible. And if you work hard, if you put time in it, you'll always get something out of it at the end of the day. It's very easy for artists to give up, especially when they don't see results. No one is even recognizing my work, or it's not good enough, but it's part of the process, because you have to build yourself first, you have to put in the time and the hours, and then eventually it's going to come. It's a fun career. It helps you grow, it builds your patience, builds your confidence, and you become a better person by being an artist. And artists are They make good spouses and good friends. So if you have yourself an artist there, keep them close. Yeah.